If you've ever laid awake at night thinking over and over again about a conversation you'd had earlier in the day, worrying that you'd said the wrong thing or that you came across too harsh, or maybe you lie awake thinking about a problem of the future, just going round and round in circles, even though consciously you probably know that it will never happen anyway, then this video is for you. As a psychiatric nurse and clinical hypnotherapist, I see all the time in my clients and my patients that they try to overcome overthinking by thinking, which usually doesn't work, right? You just have even more thinking. So it's thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, and then you just get stuck in this, what I call a negative spiral. So today I'm going to teach you a 3-step process. It's a CBT tool that I use myself, all of my clients use, and it's really helpful. It really works, so you can use it as well. But first of all, let's just have a look at why overthinking actually happens. Why do we overthink? And to explain this, we need to think about our brains and, evolutionary speaking, why this is. So there's a part of our brain called the amygdala. It's generally referred to as the fight, flight, freeze part of the brain. And this part of the brain, it's there for kind of survival instincts, also for reproduction, but survival, reproduction, that's why it's there. And it can be very obsessional, okay? And that's to keep us safe. So for example, let's say 10,000 years ago, we're living in a tribe and there is a bear, right? You can see a bear somewhere around the camp. You know there's a bear. You'd want to be checking every 10 seconds, every 5 seconds. You'd want to be rechecking, where is the bear? Where's the bear now? Where is it? Where is it? You need to become obsessional about where this bear is to keep yourself safe, right? So nowadays, obviously, we're not having many situations like that where we have to be worried about bears. I mean, maybe, depends where you live. But that part of our brain is very much in action. So when there's a situation that our mind sees as danger, it sees as this scary bear, but actually it's not. It's maybe a problem of the future. So we're obsessing over it. We keep thinking and thinking, because our brain thinks this is something dangerous, we need to keep on top of it, we need to get control of it. Most people assume that this is a thinking problem, but actually it's not. It's more of a nervous system problem. So what we need to do, we need to regulate our nervous systems to get us out of this fight, flight, freeze response. And to do that, we're going to follow these 3 steps. Catch it, calm it, change it. Number 1, catch it. So what we're catching is the thought, okay? So you're going to acknowledge or notice that you're having a negative thought or that you're spiraling. But we're not just going to notice it, we're actually going to verbalize that we're having this thought as well. So this is a really important thing to remember here though. We're not verbalizing the thought. So for example, we're not going to say, I can't believe I said that. Why did I say that? That was so stupid of me. No. We're not going to verbalize that, because that actually reinforces this negative spiral loop. What we're going to verbalize is the action that we're doing. For example, negatively spiraling or thinking negatively or overthinking something. So catch it is noticing the thought and then verbally saying, I'm spiraling, or I'm ruminating, or whatever it is that you're doing. And the action of just verbalizing that actually activates the part of your brain that brings you out of that fight, flight, freeze response. The part of your brain that encourages calm and logical, rational thinking. Step 2, calm it. So what we're calming here is the nervous system. So there's a number of ways you can do this. My favorite way to do it, and the kind of most successful way for me and for most of my clients, is to use a bit of breath work. So you want to be taking deep, slow breaths all the way down into your belly if you can, but you want to elongate the exhale. So maybe you're breathing in for 4 and out for 6. And that pattern of breathing sends a signal to your nervous system that you're safe and that you can relax. And you want to do this for at least 10 breaths. If you've got time to do it for longer, great, do it for longer. If you can do it 5-10 minutes, brilliant. The longer you do this, the more settled your nervous system is going to become. And then that leads us on to step 3, change it. And what we're changing is the thought. So we want to find a more helpful thought. So that might just be a different thought. Maybe it means going to make yourself a cup of tea and just really thinking about what you're doing, focusing on the activity of making a cup of tea. Or maybe it's, and this is my favourite to do, look out the window and see how many what I call glimmers you can see. So glimmers are those really small pieces of kind of joy. So maybe there's some nice flowers across the road, or there's a tree, or maybe there's a cool cloud in the sky. Whatever it might be, look out the window, see how many of those you can see. Or if you were worrying about maybe a problem of the future, you could even flip the thought entirely. So whatever you were worried about, why not try thinking about what you want to happen and what would be the best case scenario rather than being stuck on the worst case scenario. So catch it, calm it, change it. And one thing I will mention, because this does make quite a big difference. When your stress response is activated, when you're in that kind of fight, flight, freeze mode, the intellectual part of your brain kind of goes offline a little bit. So it might be difficult to remember to use this tool, or it might even be difficult to remember what the steps are and like how do you do it again. So what I would suggest you do is practice going through all the steps when you're feeling regulated, when you're feeling okay, because what this does is it teaches your brain, it trains your brain. So by the time you get to a point where you need to use it and you're quite activated, it will be much easier to remember, and it will also be easier to do because you've already done it a few times and your brain has learned those neural pathways which make it easier to do. So the next time you notice yourself overthinking or spiraling kind of down a rabbit hole, just see if you can catch it, calm it and change it. See what happens. And the more you do it, the easier it gets. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel for more videos on how to create more ease, calm and happiness in your life. And there's a link in my description if you want to join my newsletter for more hacks, tips and tricks.